Power of Prayer, PhD Chester Tolson and MD Harold G. Cohen found in one study about 7,000 distinguishable fears from 500 attendees. Now, the main group of researchers said that people are born with two basic fears: the fear of falling, the fear of loud noises. All the other 6,998 impractical fears that these 500 attendees had disclosed seemed to be acquired fears.
Acquired fears, so it's learned.
It's learnt. From 500 attendees, 6,998.
510 Ds.
Attendees, as in 500 people.
Attendees.
Attendees.
Jesus Christ.
So they found that there was only two that we're born with, but the rest are just learnt.
Right.
So
say that again.
So they said that, like I said, these two guys found in one study about 7,000 distinguishable fears from 500 attendees. Now, the main group of researchers said that people are born with two basic fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. All the other 6,998 impractical fears that these 500 attendees had disclosed seemed to be acquired fears.
See, that's a thing, isn't it? I mean, we touched bases beforehand, in the last episode about the word negative people. You know, but how do they get there? Well, it's acquired fears, really, isn't it?
It's learned.
It's learned. It's passed down. It's hereditary. It's in our DNA. It's that imprint stage of 0 to 7.
Yeah.
You know, you. Some people, when they fall, they stay there instead of picking themselves back up, or they fall and someone helps them.
Yeah.
Get back up,
yeah,
and that's the problem, is because we constantly look. As soon as we have a problem, I have to come see you about it. Instead of, wait, how do I sort this out myself? That's interesting. Why is fear so... Look, I can rant on about it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been told by executive producers to let you speak a little bit more. Right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Why is fear so bad?
Fear. That's a good question. Because, well, you can look at it two ways. You can say, well, if you look at fear, do you look at it as in a bad thing, or is it a good thing that people have fear? Because a majority of certain people look at fear as a very, very bad thing, and they don't do certain things, they don't take the risks, and they stay. Like we talked about in the last episode about negativity, and the thing is, fear is a part of it, because again, fear comes out of it. And the fact is that, put it this way, with fear, it's one thing that, you know, I've always seen it as a learning curve. It's something that's always, that you can look at to learn. And I've always liked that quote from Joseph Campbell. He said, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." So I'll say it again.
Say it again.
Say it again. Yeah. So basically, he said that the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Now, after hearing that quote, it's sort of...
That's deep, man. I could feel it just then. Like, I'm like... The amount of things that popped up in my head just then going... Fuck.
Yeah, so...
How many caves have I not entered?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, a lot of people realise that, you know, they see the... I've always called the appearance of reality. They see something that they know they're very fearful of, but if they would never do anything to pursue it. They'll never do anything to go even deeper and find something that's out of it. You know, if you want to change your career, let's say, for instance, you know, it's going to be, yeah, of course, it's going to be something very new to you, and something that's going to be very scary, but there's people that thrive through it and become successful at it because they're the ones that, you know, face their fear and they do it anyway. But there's a lot of people out there who just face their fear and walk the other way. They know fear is so much greater than anything in this world, and they make it greater. And so that quote, to me, it's something that I started to see is, you know, fear has been a greater thing than what everyone seems. And people thinking, you know, if people are watching this, which I know they are, it's like, well, how is fear greater? Okay, because when you pass that fear, there's something there waiting for you. And things, when you pass that fear, you know you're growing, you know that you're increasing your life and that everything's there, but you just have to face this once and for all. And the thing is, you know, they all say the number one thing that we fear is public speaking. Guess what's number 2?
What?
Death.
Yeah.
Now,
One thing
I'm going to say it again. So I'm going to say it again so you understand this. They say the number one thing that we fear is public speaking, being in front of people speaking. Death's number 2. So death comes second place. And
the thing that is most certain in life, apart from taxes,
yeah,
unless you're Donald Trump,
yeah, of course,
is death. Death is number 2, yet that is the most certain thing in life. And you know what it is?
Yeah.
I think it's because it is certain. We've gone, all right, we know it's going to happen.
yeah.
What's the next thing I've got to be feared about?
Exactly.
Feared for. What should I fear for next?
So it's pretty much, if you think about it, you die, you go to heaven, and God's there, Jesus there, he goes, oh, welcome to heaven. Now, before you actually go to the through the gates of heaven and all that sort of stuff, you have to hold a press conference.
The first test to get into heaven.
The first test you have to get into
you
heaven.
have to you got to speak in front of everybody to say why
Why should into this?
And I bet you'll shit yourself.
Exactly.
No, fuck it, I'm going the other way.
You know what? I think Damien's waiting for me down below. Dude, I'm going. It's one of those things that you think about. If that's one thing that you think about. But then I started questioning that research, and I found something really, really good. And it's a quote by a very unknown, someone that's unknown, and I tried to look for who said this, but I couldn't find it. But the quote goes, "The fear of death is greater than death itself.
Of course.
The fear of the unknown is the greatest fear of them all. The fear of the unknown." And that's what, to my mind, I know the list. If I look at it, it's the unknown altogether. Now,
That's something I speak about.
yeah.
The theory that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that with the unknown, it's something that we have to create. It's again, you see something that's unknown, but the thing is, it's up to us to make the calculated choice and saying, well, is it something I should be fearful of? The unknown. Because there's some things that I know that if I start prejudging it, I say, no, I don't want to do this because, I don't want to do this. And what's the reason why? Because I'm fearful that I will either fail or I am fearful that I will succeed. And
the fear of success,
the fear of failure, exactly. And you just stay stagnant and you do nothing at all. But then realize is that once you go through it, you'll come out the other end and you'll say, well, that wasn't that bad. It's just that a mindset, and it's that perspective thing that you have, towards it. And I've always seen that our eyes, as much as people see our eyes, I look at it as our eyes are the window to our mindset.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever pretty much you are looking out there, your mind is seeing as well. And
well, it is. Your eyes are like the camera, and your mind is the screen.
Yeah.
It's the picture is it's coming through the eyes visually, and it's hitting the mind.
Yeah, of course.
And that's where you come up with all your theories and whatever crap is in your mind.
Yeah.
So when it comes to fear, there's 2 things for me personally. What I have battled through and gone through. There are 2 types of demons. Now I'm not talking about this in a religious standpoint. I'm talking about as in there's 2 demons. One that God, the universe, and whatso throws at you. The second one is the demons you create for yourself. For example,
of course.
My father passing away, and then my grandfather passing away shortly after that. That's something that is so uncontrollable, yet human beings want to control it. Why did they die? Why did this happen? It shouldn't have happened. And of course, we go through that. I went through that, so I know how personal it is for that.
Yeah, of course.
But then, the demons you create after that demon, you can't do anything about it. It's a life situation that happens. It just gets thrown at you, and it's how you deal with it. It's something that you just can't control, and people got to stop trying to control the uncontrollable.
Of course.
And that is anything external from themselves. We can't control the weather, where I know people go, yeah, conspiracy. I don't give a shit. You can't control the weather. The second thing is you can't control other people and what they think and what they do. That's why I think our field is the hardest field to be in, because you can't control the masses.
Of course.
You can't tell another person what to do, yet, yes, you can tell them how to do it,
of course.
but you can't tell someone what to do. But humans want that because people crave the need of control.
Of course.
The other demon is those demons you create for yourself. My ex hurt me, getting cheated or whatever it is, financial pressure, all that. These are stuff you can actually control, but you don't want to control it. You're trying to put it in the realm of the uncontrollable.
Yeah, exactly.